What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the Bell Pepper Team podcast. I'm going to do a little bit of plug this time at the beginning because I've been wanting to do this for weeks and I always forget. You can find us at YouTube. You can find us on Google Play or Apple iTunes podcast just by searching Bell Pepper Team. And, like, subscribe, do all those things that everyone tells you to do, please, because it would really help us. I'm Don.
I'm Davis.
I'm Corey.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Don again. So this week on the Bell Pepper Team podcast, we're going to talk about Gears 5, another brand new release game. And me, Corey, and Shane played a little bit of it. We're still going through it, so we'll hopefully be able to actually go through it and actually finish it this week, and we can give our final thoughts on it a little bit next week. But we've got a good feel for the game. We'll talk about it a little bit this week. So what have you guys been doing recently? Anything interesting in your lives?
Not really.
Trying not to kill myself.
No.
Jeez.
The
There's a
usual.
hotline for that,
Fun.
Shane.
Just a
I've
normal
got
day.
vacation. I've got vacation coming up next week, so that's
You're lucky.
fun.
I went and saw It Chapter 2 this past weekend.
I want to see it so bad.
It's pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's very funny. And it's like this, I don't remember if the first one did it like this one did, but there's a lot of fucking strobe lights in this movie, and it's very unsettling, and I hated it. But other than that, I really like this movie. But I think they want like there's probably 15 minutes straight of strobes, and it's too much. I'm like, I have to like look away or else I'm gonna die. But I mean, they do that to make you feel unsettled.
Yeah, I really like the first one, and I hate scary movies, so that's weird that I liked it. But I really liked it, so I'm excited to see the second one.
I would recommend it for you other two also. If you haven't seen the first one,
I
watch the
haven't
first
seen
one.
either of them.
Watch them
I
both, 'cause
haven't
they're
given
both
a
very
fuck about either of them. Also, scary movies in general. So,
good. Well, they're good. Yeah, let's jump straight into some news. We've got some hefty bits of news. We're going to start off with something that and I know Corey are very interested in. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered got a release date. It's coming out January 23rd. And it will have cross-platform play and online multiplayer. So for those of you who don't know, Crystal Chronicles was the one that you had to play by plugging in your Game Boy into it. And I remember playing it with Corey a handful of times and really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to be able to play this with Corey again.
Yeah, that was the first Final Fantasy I ever played, and I know most people, Final Fantasy fans, they'll say, "Oh, well, that isn't a real Final Fantasy." I don't care. It was a great game.
It's the only Final Fantasy game I really like.
you never played 15, did you?
Is that the newest one?
Yes.
That's
I
the one
watched
where you
Corey
ride
play
around
it.
the cars.
Yeah,
Yeah, Don watched me play it for about 100 hours.
he played it for a long time.
It's a fucking fun game.
But I really enjoyed that one. I guess it comes with a bunch of... there's going to be a preview version of the game playable at the Tokyo Games show, which is coming up soon, I guess. So, and it comes out for PS4, Switch, iOS, and Android. So I will definitely be getting on the Switch because it's a good game for the Switch. But yeah, I'm very excited for that.
You're not going to play it on mobile?
Mobile Master Race. My phone's big. It's almost as big as my Switch, but not still big enough.
Yeah.
But either way. So, next bit of news, I would like to call our Corey's Jerk-Off Corner of the Week, because we're going to talk about Shenmue 3!
Yay!
Yes! Yay!
Shenmue 3 gets a trial edition, and I guess they're going to start refunding people who are having freakouts because it's only an Epic Games Store exclusive now in September. Corey, and I guess you've got 2 weeks to reclaim the refund. Are you getting a trial? How is that working? Do you know? What do you know about it? They said they were going to send out emails and stuff.
Yeah, that's really what I saw in the Kickstarter update. That they're just going to be sending it out in an email. So
You haven't heard anything yet?
I heard it was going to be in the middle of September, in the second half.
It says WiseNet. An email survey will go out in mid-September. Remind them of their platform of choice, and you can change that selection at that point in time, I guess. And what?
Corey, are you gonna get the refund since you bought the fancy thing?
No, because I'm getting it on PC through the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But yeah, with limited run games, they just had this Shenmue, like collector's edition, where it comes with a bunch of awesome stuff like a lamp, the dragon and phoenix mirror, some stickers, iron-on patches, other stuff like that. Oh, and the like commemorative Dreamcast case.
It's very cool.
So so I'm super excited about that. But I eventually want to get it on every platform. So yeah, gonna get it on PS4 with that, and then PC.
Maybe they'll make a
through
Dreamcast
Kickstarter.
version.
I don't know that they could fit. That would take a billion discs.
That would be a lot.
So you pre-ordered it for Steam, right? Though.
Yes.
So are you going to switch to the Epic Game Store? Because I had read earlier on that people who pre-ordered it for Steam still are getting the Steam version. They're not automatically just getting the Epic Game Store version, but you won't be getting your version until it comes out on Steam, which is months down the line.
Right.
So are you just not going to get it?
I will eventually get it on... Well, I mean, I'm going to get the PS4 version, then I'll get it on Epic Stores once I finish it on PS4.
So the first version you're going to be playing is the PS4 version?
Yes.
So you're not... What if it doesn't... I know you're going to want to play like the second it comes out. And I imagine you won't get that game the day it comes out. Are you just immediately just going to buy the Epic Game Store version first, or how are you going to do this?
That's...
You're going to take off
I'm
work
trying
for
to
a
think
month?
about it. I'm
Because
trying
it's
to
like
think about it. 'cause-
your Steam version you're not going to get for, 3 months or something? So that one you won't be able to play immediately. That's the one you pre-ordered. The special bundle edition you got said it should come out around the time of launch, but I doubt you'll get it day of launch.
Right.
So day of launch, you're going to want to play Shenmue. You're not going to have Shenmue. Are you going to buy a third version immediately?
I might.
You should definitely look into this process and see if you can switch from Steam to the Epic Games Store.
Or, yeah, I'll definitely look into that. If I can change it to Epic Games, then I'll definitely do that. But otherwise, what I might do is just, once the game ships, then I'll go ahead and, quickly play through both 1 and 2, and then play 3 as soon as it gets there.
Didn't
But
you
I'm
just
definitely
recently?
going to want to play it.
Didn't you just recently play through 1 again? Like last week or something like that?
I just started it up 2 days ago or so.
Yeah.
Started it up, and in just a couple hours, I'm already almost done with the second disc, or
Jeez.
equivalent.
Where
I
does
played it on
when
Xbox.
does 3 come out?
November 19th, I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a little bit of time for that. That was Corey's jerk-off corner of happiness. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! He came.
Shenmue's the best.
Hopefully. We can only hope.
Can't see below his chest, so we don't know.
Moving on to something we talked about a little bit last week. So I guess, which is interesting that we talked about it last week and it's back in the news this week. Right, we talked about it last week. Hideo Kojima's PT was hacked to find new secrets. And there's not really too much. There isn't much news. There's just something that I thought was interesting. So I guess basically, from what I read, so from the point, so you know how when you're walking around, you hear noises or whatever, and you'll look around and the chick is nowhere to be seen.
And then there's a baby in a backpack somewhere.
The baby was in the tub.
No,
In
that's
the sink.
making
in the
a
sink.
joke about this new game.
And not completely done being born yet.
Yep,
Whatever.
joke missed. Whatever.
But the second you start hearing the chick, I guess that whenever you hear her, that means she's spawned and she's attached to your back essentially. So you can't actually see her, but through hacking, you can if you can flip the camera, she's always behind you, which is actually really creepy.
Yeah.
That she's always there, attached to you essentially. So you'll turn and she follows you, and she's attached to your back. So when you turn around, she is actually there, but now she's just always behind you, and then she'll pop into frame at random points in time and scare you. So
Spooky.
she's always lurking. I just thought that
The
was
most
remember-
terrifying time that she ever popped in is when you're walking down the hall and she appears outside the window.
Yeah, that was spooky.
That-
I remember when PT came out, Don and I were living together, and we were playing it in our apartment. And the spooky part for me was when you're walking by the front door and you look up and there's that's where that freezer is, or the fridge, but then she's just up on the balcony looking down at you for a split second. That was the got me spook.
That game was canceled in 2015. It has been 4
Wow.
years since that game has been canceled. And it's a damn shame. We'll probably never get another Silent Hill game.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate because that game would have been phenomenal. It would have blown Resident Evil 7 out of the water, I think.
I would have loved to play the new Silent Hill if it had come out.
It would have been cool.
Yep.
I would have loved to watch you play that shit.
I get spooked easily.
Like this the whole time. Oh god.
All right. So next bit of news: Borderlands 3, which we will be playing eventually. People are starting to review it. Like we're starting to get reviews and stuff of it. And it's being reviewed not bad. So like open critics it's got an 85 with 92% recommended. We've got XGN, it's got like a 95, 94. Destructoid give it a 90. Forbes give it a 90. IGN give it a 90. The worst review that on this list of reviews that I have aggregated, guess how low this review is?
55.
No.
Too much water.
72.
No.
Way too high? 14.
It's a 63. And that's from PC Gamer. So it's not like just a Joe Schmo. It's actually from a actual website. But they said an endless font of bad jokes and cool guns in the series' most vapid story yet. Borderlands 3 skates by on watching numbers fly and goons explode. That's pretty harsh.
It's also the Borderlands formula. So
Yeah, that really
sounds like they just, hey, this game is Borderlands. We're gonna give it a bad score for some reason.
I would never say that the story is vapid. I would not use that.
Okay. Minus them saying,
And I would never say it just skates by on watching
Yeah.
numbers fly and goons explode. There's so much more to the game than just
right, but
grinding
yeah,
enemies.
it's a looter shooter to the extreme, and that's what they know what it is. So there's no hiding what it is. They're very plain with what it is. So
the best reviewed review at a 95 said from XGN, Borderlands 3 has surpassed the bar that its predecessors had set. The story is grand in scale. The humor is on point and updated to 2019. Weapons are diverse, and the new Vault Hunters are unique in every way. Every Borderlands fan must pick this game up. So two very different ends of the spectrum, essentially. So
yeah, reviews are a crapshoot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
In fact-
not so much. Like they're all pretty similar, except for that one PC Gamer one, and then. But I don't know. I guess there might have been some issues with like the structuralness of the game and how it actually performs. But I don't know. I'm still very excited for it. At least there's not like overwhelmingly bad reviews for it, so it just seems like we're gonna get decent Borderlands, as we should, and as we had all
Excited.
hoped.
Very excited.
That comes out this Friday, right?
13th.
Friday the 13th.
So yes.
Yep. This Friday is Friday the 13th. So yep.
Too bad we won't be playing it for 10 more days.
Too bad we will not be playing
Number
it.
2.
Okay, and now here's where we're gonna spend a little more time even. So our last podcast we recorded Monday and went up Tuesday of last week. On Wednesday, Nintendo did their Direct and dumped a fair amount of interesting news. Now we're just gonna take a little bit of time and go over Nintendo Direct news. So this is our Nintendo corner.
Yay.
I had watched this news as I was going to the fair, so I was watching it in the car, and I was listening to one of the most cool things is they're like, we're going to tell you when Banjo-Kazooie's coming out for Smash for you to play, and it's right now, and I'm like, what? And when I got home from the fair, I played Banjo, and I love the way that Banjo plays. He was everything that I'd hoped. He's like not super fast, and I didn't expect him to be super fast, but like his playstyle is exactly as I'd hoped, and he's cool, and I like his abilities, and I'm a big fan of Banjo, and Spiral Mountain is cool, and the remix of the music is cool, and it's cool. Has anybody else played Banjo yet?
I haven't.
Nope.
I haven't played Smash in a long time.
Does anybody
We
else
should
have
do
the
that.
season pass and have Banjo?
Yes.
I have Joker.
Did you just
Wow.
buy Joker?
I did just buy Joker.
You're a loser. Why didn't you just buy the season
I
pass?
did.
That,
Because
He's a big old loser.
I might have actually bought the season pass. Can't remember. I do know for a fact I have Joker. No, I bought the season pass because was that the only way to get Piranha?
Yeah,
Then yes, I have the season pass.
yeah. But
Haven't played him though. Haven't even installed it.
Banjo's cool. and I'm a big Banjo fan, so that was fun. Moving on to similar Smash news, they announced the next character in Fight Pass, which I had seen leaks that this was going to be. It was going to be a character from this brand, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this brand is, but I guess they made the people who made Metal Slug, SNK, right? Metal Slug's a game. Yeah. It was the people who made. It's called SNK, and the character is Terry Bogard, and he was from the SNK fighting games. I could not be less interested. Like this, he was the first. Everyone else I had been like at least moderately familiar with. It's like I never played the Persona games, but I knew Joker. I loved Banjo. The Dragon Quest. I'm familiar with the Dragon Quest series. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I'm not like super thrilled with them, but this one I'm just like, who? And I like had to actively look into it, and I'm just not even.
They have 5 DLC characters, right? That's what they've slotted. Or 5 or 6.
So there's one more, which will be coming out. This season pass is supposed to end by February, and they also announced at this direct that we're getting even more DLC fighters after this pass.
Okay, that makes more sense because why would they waste it on some Joe Schmo that nobody knows about?
I also saw that they're re-releasing some old SNK games on the Switch coming up soon, or remastering them. So it kind of ties in with that. They probably had some sort of deal with them. It's like, you could bring your games on our system. You would just put one of our characters in Smash, and
like maybe people who don't know who he is will like playing as him, and then they'll be like, oh, I kind of want to see what games this person was in, and now that they're able to play him,
and then they'll try him and be like, oh, okay.
I never really played the Castlevania games, but I really like playing as Simon in Smash. Like he's one of my favorite characters to play as.
Yeah.
So, this might be the same way. Who knows? I haven't played as him yet. I don't know how he plays, so we'll see. Not super thrilled by it, but there's still one more character left for this pass. I already got my Banjo. He was the only one that I was really hoping for, so my season pass is worth it to me because I got Banjo. So I don't even know. Does anybody? Do you guys care who this last character would be? Gino.
Yeah.
From 7 Stars.
Yeah. He's
on the list. He's definitely on the list that I've heard people talking about.
Another Sonic character would be cool. I don't think we'd get one.
It would be awesome to be able.
Not Cream the Rabbit.
I would actually be okay with that. That'd be awesome.
Charmy B.
I love.
Obviously. No, that'd be cool.
No, if you could play as Knuckles, that would be awesome.
Yeah, Knuckles would be cool. I bet they'll put in another Pokemon when Sword and Shield comes out. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Actually, I'd be surprised if they did.
Why?
Because how would they pick one?
How have they picked any of them? How did they pick Greninja?
Incineroar.
Incineroar is ranked. I love Incineroar.
Right, Incineroar's fine, but like they just got to pick somebody that.
Yeah, they'll just pick one.
It's cool.
How do they get any of them? It's like Lucario. Why? Greninja. Why?
I hope it's Magikarp.
Magikarp's they don't double up on things. So anything that's already in a Pokeball or is already like an assist trophy will not be in it.
Fact.
Yeah, I bet they'll put a Pokemon. The Pokemon characters are super popular.
Which is why another.
I don't think with this season pass at least we're gonna get a Pokemon.
No,
I think they're gonna do
not with this one.
New IP for the rest of them.
I'm sure I'm sure their last character is already very deep in development and probably in the last stages.
You would be surprised. I guess at this point, but like the way that they had talked about some of these characters made it seem like they were like a lot of this shit was being finalized. Like kind of at the last minute. So I don't know. Maybe not the last minute, but like not long before they announce this kind of stuff.
Yeah, my basis on that is that I'm pretty sure when they were making the Wii U version that they had Greninja in the game before Greninja was even designed to be put into that Pokemon at the time, whatever it was. Sun and Moon. No.
X and Y?
What was X and Y?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that's the story.
It might be. I'd believe it. Other thing that came out at the Switch Direct, we're getting Super Nintendo games on Nintendo Switch Online. Do any of you guys have Nintendo Switch Online besides me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was free for the
Switch. I just turned off my subscription.
It's so cheap. Why would you even turn it off? It's like $20 for a year.
It's $4 or whatever, or a month or whatever. But
can you even buy it in a month?
That's how I was getting it.
Davis,
it's $20 for a year. Just throw $20 down. You get it for a year. You get right now. You get all those. You get a good bunch of Super Nintendo games, but now you get all our normal Nintendo games. Now you get Super Nintendo games, and we'll get 20 starting. It started on the 5th. So you can already get 20 of them.
Yeah, I'll probably do it again. Shane, what did you say?
Don't you have
I wanna
Amazon
do that.
Prime? You can. I was able to get a whole year for free through Twitch Prime.
I think it was the thing. I'm gonna go over
Maybe
the
I'll-
list of the games that for the Super Nintendo that it's coming out with that came out on the 5th. Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Stunt Race FX, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Mario World 2: Yoshi's Island, Star Fox, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, Kirby's Dream Course, Brawl Brothers, Breath of Fire, Demon's Crest, Joe and Mac 2: Lost in the Tropics, Super EDF Earth Defense Force, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Puyo
Pop?
PO2, available for the first time in the US, and Super Soccer and Super Tennis. And unlike how they've been doing it before, I guess every month they've been releasing new games. They're no longer going to be doing it monthly. It's just going to be when they're ready, they're going to release them, which I don't know if that's good, which means we'll get it more often, or bad and we'll get it less often. But it's cool. I mean, I had the Super Nintendo Mini, so I had a lot of these games anyway, but there's a couple that I didn't have, so I'll get to play some new of them. I'm just hoping that next step is N64 or GameCube. I mean, chronologically, it's going to be the N64, but eventually, give me that GameCube.
Virtual
I'm surprised they're taking this long to get like the Virtual Store on, because they would make a killing with GameCube and N64 games.
They already had all these games on the Virtual Store anyway. Like,
Right.
in the previous generation, it's not like you can make them that much better looking for the Switch.
Right, but just the ability, like people whose like GameCubes don't work and don't have the capability of having like an emulator on their computer, and want to play Super Mario Sunshine again.
I'm sure there's a reason they haven't done it yet. Like, Nintendo's not stupid.
I mean, they did just put out what's his name, Todd Packer, for
Todd Packer.
Smash.
The Todd
who is
Packer.
it?
I don't even remember.
What? Yeah, Tim.
Terry Bogard.
Yeah, him.
He looks like Ken meets Pokemon Trainer. Have you seen what he looks like?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to show the YouTube stream my laptop real quick. Could you see him? There he is.
He
Oh,
just
yeah.
looks
World.
like Ken meets what's his face. Pokemon Trainer. That's funny.
Yeah, so that's Terry for you. Yeah, so we'll get that SNES stuff, and then hopefully N64 stuff, and then hopefully GameCube stuff. Because how old's GameCube came out? What, 2001?
2000? 2001?
So I mean,
Something like that.
2001.
we're approaching 20 years now. So I'm sure we'll get it eventually.
Crazy thing that it came out almost 20 years ago.
It's a long time.
What's really crazy is I still crave to play some of those games.
Well, you can get most of them. GameStop has become a really good place to get retro games, and I think
I
they're
don't
only
have
going
a
to
way
become
to
better
play
at
them.
retro games.
I don't have a way to play them.
I got rid of my GameCube forever ago, and I bought a new one from GameStop.
We should do a Kirby Air Ride night and get all the grid pieces or whatever.
It takes forever. Me and Shane have tried to do it multiple times, but I'm down.
Not in one night, obviously, but that'd be
I'll do
fun
some
to do.
Kirby ride. All right,
I've only played it like once or twice.
it's fun.
November
We're missing
18th,
out.
2001 is when it came out in America.
Basically, just
Wow.
interesting. All right, and then the last bit of direct news that I thought was interesting, at least they announced a lot of stuff. Like they talked about more about the new Pokemon. They showed off some new Pokemon and stuff. They talked a little bit more about Animal Crossing. Nothing like huge or groundbreaking. They just talked about like the crafting system, and they showed off how you could place stuff some more in Animal Crossing, and you could put stuff basically anywhere. But like nothing super groundbreaking. Or the one thing that I did think was interesting though, or the last thing that I found super interesting from the direct was they announced Pete Hines from Bethesda came on, and I was like, oh, what up? What's he going to talk about Bethesda? And he was like, what up, guys? Doom 64 is coming for Nintendo Switch this November. And I'm like, did not expect that one, but cool. So Doom 64 is going to be coming out on the Switch in November, which, in all its old-looking glory, and if it's a good price, that might be something that I end up picking up, because I think that'd be cool.
I want Duke Nukem 64.
Who owns Duke right now?
Is it
I don't remember.
Ubisoft?
Yeah, I don't know.
Id? Question mark.
No. I don't know who just made the newer one that everyone hates, but I don't think it was anyone huge. But yeah, if it's got online multiplayer, it'll be definitely something that I pick up. I don't know if they said that it'll have online multiplayer, but I mean they just announced it last week, so we'll see. I'm excited to play some old school Doom. I think that'll be cool because they got like what Doom's 1, 2, and 3 just released a little while ago on the Switch too. So I mean they're loading. Bethesda likes the Switch, which is cool. I like that first parties are enjoying the Switch. So I'm down with that.
Yep.
And then that's my news for this week. Do you guys have anything else that I didn't touch upon that you want to talk about?
I
Nope.
want to just bring up Damon X Machina real quick.
Okay.
It looks like absolute weeb trash if you're not into that kind of shit. But if you are, the demo, I won't even say demo. I don't know what they're calling it, but I'm gonna call it a demo. Is available to be played before the game's even out, and it gives you the introduction to the game for free. And it's at least maybe 2-3 hours of free gameplay. And I highly enjoyed it.
I don't know what that game is at all. What is that game?
Flying Robots Gundam is the best way I can describe it.
All right, you vomit up those words real quick.
Bye-bye.
Flying Robots Gundam.
I think Gundam, but if it was more about being a mercenary.
Okay.
So you're flying around, helping out all these different groups. I think eventually you pick a group to side with. Maybe you just make connections to bring people along with you on missions. Not quite sure.
What did you say it was called again?
Damon X Machina.
So it's not Deus Ex Machina?
Right. It's
No,
Damon.
it's Damon.
Damon, and then there's
Matt
X,
Damon.
and then there's the Machina.
Bad choice of names because Deus Ex already exists.
Exactly. Yep. It looks. I'm interested. I didn't play it on. I only played it handheld, so I would like to see what.
You played on the
looks like.
Switch?
Yes, it's on the Switch only.
Oh, it's a Switch exclusive?
Yes,
Sweet.
and it's a full price game. So
Like $60?
yeah,
But the
But
free demo
it comes
thing?
out. I think Friday.
Same day as Borderlands. I can't imagine that'll be good for it.
They're gonna compete
it
so
might
hard.
Be if I would get it absolutely if I had the money to do it.
But you don't have the money to do it. You only have the money to buy one game, and guess what you're buying? Borderlands.
I currently don't even have the money to buy one game. But
All right, rip you. But most people in that situation, I would imagine, are going to buy Borderlands, which is tough.
Shane,
It's like when big movies try to launch the same weekend as like Avengers, and they're like, "Good luck," because everyone's spending $2 billion on Avengers.
Shane,
Yeah.
do you have a credit card?
Let's not talk about that.
Then you can buy Borderlands.
Let's not talk about that.
Let's help Shane take out a bunch of credit cards and hurl himself into debt.
How about you guys just somehow convince me to move back home so I don't pay for rent?
I've been trying for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And I keep meeting more and more people moved from Illinois that have moved here.
All right, well, Illinois is not great,
I've
granted.
met so many people from Joliet somehow.
Raise your hand if
who-
you live in Illinois. Raise your hand if you don't live in Illinois. There's your reason why you should move home.
And for those of you who couldn't see that, Shane was the only loser that rose his hand for not living in Illinois. But Illinois kind of sucks. Regardless,
Yeah.
anybody else have any news besides Shane's Demon Machina?
Well, finally, after 9 years.
Oh,
they-
shit. Hold on. That was also part of my news from the Nintendo thing. Deadly Premonition 2. We talked about Deadly Premonition last week, too. They just listened to us. Like, they were one of those, like, 20 people that were listening to this.
We are the
And they're
most
like-
influential group in technology
in the
today.
past week.
Who would have thought? It's really strange. We're on the pulse.
Of our 5 views, the four of the 5 views are us, and then the 5th view
Nintendo.
is Nintendo.
It's Reggie. And Reggie called up. I don't know who it is. Oh, what's his name? Bowser.
Bowser.
Mr. Bowser.
Yeah.
And he's like, guys, I just saw the best shit ever on YouTube. And it's like, well, Mr. Bowser, you could just hit up this line if you want any more information on what the people want. But yeah, Deadly Premonition 2, it's coming to the Switch. It's going to be a Switch exclusive. That's like such a strange game. Perfect for the Switch. Corey, what are your feelings on the matter since you're going to bring it up anyway?
I'm super pumped for it. I still need to finish Deadly Premonition. I've started it a few times and I've gotten pretty far, but I just like some other game would come out, I'd stop play that, and then I'd forget where I was, so I'd have to start over again. So right now I'm trying to finish that. But then, of course, Gears came out, so trying to finish it. But I'm super pumped because it was very unique. It's very like highly inspired by like Twin Peaks, which I think's awesome.
Let me give you the spiel for this game. So the sequel will follow FBI agent Aaliyah Davis as she investigates an old serial killer case in Boston. Aaliyah's new case also has a connection to a 14-year-old case in New Orleans that was investigated by FBI agent Francis York Morgan, the protagonist of the first game.
Frank.
And then players will control both characters as their stories intersect, and they reveal clues about each other's cases. That was from Polygon. And then they're also re-releasing the first game on the Switch, and they're calling it Deadly Premonition Origins. And I guess it's a new version of the game. I don't know if it's just updated graphics, maybe the same graphics, maybe with some extra stuff, maybe it's like a director's cut. Who knows? I don't know yet because it doesn't say anything as far as I know about that. But that Deadly Premonition 2 is going to come out in 2020. No specific date yet, but Deadly Premonition 1 is already out, right? It released same day?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can play that one on the Switch right now if you want to. It's a weird-ass game.
It came out of nowhere. The fact that they brought this to the Switch. No one was asking for it, but I feel
Corey was
like...
asking for it. We were asking for it, Shane. What do you mean no one?
I don't think Corey was asking for it specifically on the Switch, though.
The Switch
I'm
is
just asking for it to get
perfect.
the recognition it deserves, and this is a way to do it.
I think this will act. I think Deadly Premonition, now that it's on the Switch, will hit a much wider audience, and that niche love will expand.
It will be.
I mean, it was on the Xbox, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You don't get much bigger than the Xbox.
but
But
it's on Xbox and PS3.
People like what is old is new these days, so it'll probably have a better second life than it did at first life. I don't actually know how the first one sold. It might have sold fine, even though it was weird. But like,
Looked like trash.
it didn't look great. So let's move on to our topic for this week, and that our topic is Gears 5. It's the newest title in the Gears of War franchise. They dropped the of War, and it's just Gears 5, and it's actually technically Gears 6 because we had Gears 1, 2, 3, Judgment 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Judgment was a prequel, right? Or no?
I think so.
It was about Baird, wasn't it?
It was about Baird and his
Cole.
crew. But yeah, so this one is we got Gears 5, developed by Coalition, published by Xbox Game Studios. So, and it came out on Windows and Xbox One. Because we have the Game Pass, this game actually isn't out yet. It's going to be released worldwide September, the day that this podcast releases, actually, September 10th. So we played because we have it on the Ultimate, or Game Pass, the Ultimate version of Game Pass, not the normal version of Game Pass. And it is only the second Gears of War game not to be developed by Epic Games. I forgot that Epic was the one that actually started Gears of War, and they're doing their own giant-ass thing now. But yeah, so I'll give you the synopsis from our wonderful world of Wikipedia. Gears of 5 focuses on Kat Diaz, an outsider of Locust descent. As Kat, the player must uncover the origins of the Locust and Kat's family. Gears of War 4 protagonist J.D. Phoenix and his friend Delmont Walker and J.D.'s father Marcus Phoenix also return. So yeah, we'll stay pretty far away from spoiler stuff from this, obviously, because the game is only releasing tomorrow, and we haven't played a huge amount of the game, but we played a little bit to get like a feel for the game and understand it and get our opinions of it at least. And obviously, like I said at the top of the show, we're gonna try to finish it in this upcoming week, and then next week we'll be able to give our final thoughts on it, because next week actually Davis will be gone on vacation, and it'll just be me, Corey, and Shane, and we are the ones who are playing it together because it's actually it has a really interesting mechanic of 3-player co-op, but in a really cool way. But yeah, so we'll give you our final thoughts then. But like I actually just said, it is 3-player co-op, and it's a really interesting style of 3-player co-op. So everybody's a different character, and you can pick which character you want to be. So like you either be JD, or you be Dell, or you can be Kate, or you could be this little robot dude, which is either starts off as Dave and then turns into Jack, I think. Yeah. I don't remember. But the second we saw him, we just started calling him Shane, because that's what he's our Shane. It's Shane Bot. So
Jeez.
A lot of suicide from you today.
Supportive, homicidal, automaton, natively eradicating. I think that's
That
what
might have been what
I
he said. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and no matter like so Corey, like here's an example of the difference that you get from these characters. Corey was playing as Kate. I was playing as Dell. Excuse me, and Shane was playing as the robot. And so, like for instance, the robot's gameplay is all the mechanics are different. You're a little floating robot. You don't shoot. You've got like different abilities that you can upgrade, and like you can zap and you assist the team. So Shane was like a support class for a campaign. I was Dell, who was just one of the characters, and I was experiencing the gameplay like pretty normally, just running around shooting, doing my own thing. But Corey as Kate was getting visions that none of us were getting, and he was experiencing gameplay like different from the rest of us.
Like, I was freaking out at one point when it first happened. I'm like, wait, are you guys seeing this? They're like, what? Like, it's just, just normal. We're just walking through this town. And I'm like, you guys aren't seeing this? It's not flashing red. You're not... Like, it was
Nope.
It was crazy. And I tried describing it to them, and they're like, you're nuts. Like, I don't see any of this.
Yeah. So
And it happens a few times, so it's crazy. Like, so basically all three people playing, even though they're playing the same game at the same time, you'll have completely different experiences.
Mhm.
It's
for the most
awesome.
part, it's an interesting concept that I don't know too many other games that did or do. So
Do.
well, I said do. But it's cool. I know that personally, I had only really I'd beaten Gears 1, I'd beaten Gears 2, I'd played through. I don't think I beat Gears 3, but I played through a good amount of Gears 3, and I hadn't played Judgment or 4. But this game kind of gives you like a refresher on what happened in the last Gears to catch you up a little bit at the beginning of the game off the top. So that helped you catch up. But I mean, like it's not like an overly complex story, so you can kind of just piece it together as you play. But yeah, it's Gears. Let me
I
tell you
jumped
what.
in to the story that you guys were playing because I joined you guys a little late as Jack the robot. And no, this is my first Gears game, so I obviously looked into the story before we started playing campaign, which was more than enough to actually get me into the game because the story's not that complex. It's fantastically simple. So it was easy to jump in. I played as Jack the Robot. Didn't really know what was going on. That's perfectly fine. Still had a fun time. I was amazed at how simple fun it was.
It brings back all the guns that you love from the Gears franchise. Obviously, you've got your D-pad selection of Lancer. You get your Lancers or your you've got torque bows. You get the Gnasher. You get your grenades. It is Gears. It felt maybe a little harder than normal Gears, and it's not like we were playing at a hard difficulty, but I feel like at least older Gears felt a little bit easier. I might just be becoming bad at video games, but
I'm going to say it's that.
I'm definitely becoming bad at video games.
yeah, it could be that.
Same.
I just felt like at least more complicated, not complicated, but a little not as easy. And I appreciate games that give me a little bit of a challenge. I don't like games that are just breezes too much.
Yeah, and you also don't like when it's way too hard. Dark
I
Souls.
hate when it's way too hard. I don't like
I
games
love
that are you like unreasonably complex for the sake of being difficult, like Dark Souls games. I'm like, I don't want this. But
I
that's
love
the
that
other
'cause, like,
other end of the spectrum.
I love that because when it's like that, it's like you'll be struggling, and then finally when you get past it, you feel an actual sense of accomplishment, even though you're just sitting in your room doing nothing.
What we didn't do is play on.
We didn't play the online. And there's did you play today? Which mode did you play? Okay, so give us the spiel of the online. What does it have to offer?
You get a skull token for every kill you get, and it's team deathmatch. And using those tokens, you can buy a different weapon based on which character you've selected. Certain characters have snipers, certain characters have explosive weapons, so you can use those. I had a lot of fun with that mode specifically because one of the challenges, they have their own battle pass basically. They're not calling it a battle pass. Can't remember what they're calling it exactly.
Did you pay for it?
No, it was free.
Oh.
Yeah, it's absolutely free, and it has certain challenges. One of them was for me specifically. Devin didn't have this one. Was to get it was like the challenge. Those challenges change weekly. Mine was to get one of them was to get 15 kills with an explosive weapon. So I was going for explosive kills. Had a lot of fun trying to do that. But that's the only arcade mode there is. That is the only mode that's in arcade mode. Then there's classic, which has like team deathmatch and some other things. My favorite so far was this mode called dodgeball. Which did any of you guys play Gears Online previously?
I've played a little bit of Gears Online before.
A little bit, but not much.
So do you guys know what dodgeball mode is?
I
No.
do not.
Okay, it's called dodgeball because you get killed, you're out. But if you get a kill, you're back in.
What?
If
If you're out, how do you kill someone?
Guns.
But if you're out,
But if you're out,
But if you're out, you like someone on your team gets a kill, you come back in like
oh,
someone catches the ball and
okay,
dodge.
okay.
I thought you meant like you're
No,
out
no,
and
no.
then you kill someone and like
You know,
but you're out.
I might have played that game mode now that you mentioned because it does sound familiar, but I'm not sure.
Me and
That
Devin
sounds
had a-
fun.
Me and Devin had a lot of fun with that, except for when you're the last alive and you know you're not good enough to actually get a kill.
Are the online maps very typical of Gears, where it's basically like hallway essentially, but a wide hallway that's like it's like rectangular, where it's just
No,
like,
it seems very actually open. Like, my favorite map so far was just like two buildings, like really not really close to each other, but like across the street from each other. And then there was places, ways to go around and everything, but there was that main looking through the windows and shooting at each other. I loved that a lot.
because typical Gears are usually like it's like a hallway and you're just like running at each other and there's like shit in between you and like shit to hide behind. But for the most part, it's like, at least from my understanding, it's just like hallway type multiplayer, where it's just like head to head, boom boom.
No, I didn't feel very head to head. There was definitely moments where I was running around looking for people because I couldn't find people.
It's interesting.
There's also escape mode and horde mode.
The escape mode was something that I saw. They showed off at E3. They had some WWE wrestlers show off some of the gameplay, and it's like, so that's a 3-player mode, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where it's like you're escaping from a base, and there's the locusts or the swarm, as they're called in this game, and you have to like do these different like sections and on your way out, right? Because I know,
Yes.
and there's different like routes and paths you can take.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I played that with my brothers yesterday or maybe the day before, but I didn't like it.
I liked it a lot. Except I think it would be a lot more fun with people I actually knew. It was me, Devin, and some random guy. The rando would open all the areas and take all the ammo immediately.
Oh yeah, you get no ammo in it.
It's definitely a scavenge for ammo, but you level up the character you play as because you can select a bunch of different characters. I picked Emil
However-
from Halo Reach.
Were you actually able to level up? Because
Yes.
this game, the online, is really broken right now. Like
Yeah, no, I'm level 9.
okay, because when we played that, it took us a while to get through the first one, and when we did, there was 0 XP. It disconnected, kicked us out. And then my brothers even went and checked for their horde mode that they played like all day the day before. They looked and they didn't get anything. None of it counted for them.
Experience whatsoever.
Right.
Weird.
There was a
I've
lot
had
of issues
no
at
issue
launch
like that.
with connectivity and like the servers not working right. But I think that I had read that most of those issues have been solved. I know on launch day I tried to like log into my Xbox Live to download it, and like Xbox Live was basically down. So
Along with that, there's horde mode, which is the horde mode is this. In campaign, but still not that useful. But his ultimate ability, he takes over an enemy and can control that enemy.
that's pretty cool.
That's
That was-
awesome.
That was a lot of fun. But along with that, the battle pass, they have supply drops or supply crates or whatever you want to call them, and that you just get as you play. Every game you'll get like a little bit more progression towards the supply crate. I've opened a bunch of them, and you get like one cosmetic unlock per crate, and it's randomized. And I've gotten some of the arrows that point out your teammates above their head. One I got like a Roman numeral 1 for that, and then I've gotten different blood sprays for when you kill someone. I think it sprays their blood on their screen, and I've gotten like Sea of Thieves. I got that logo.
That's cool.
I'm trying to remember what other stuff I've gotten, but the issue I've ran into is I can't select the things I've unlocked. It shows me them. It shows me if I've unlocked them, but when I hit A to select it to use for a certain weapon, it doesn't.
That's interesting. Well, I don't know. I'm enjoying my playthrough of Gears as it stands. I'm having a good time. There's going back to a little bit of the campaign. They've got all the collectibles. Obviously, there's a bunch of collectibles in this game. Like as you're going through picking them up, I think there was 26 in one level or something. But
and a really nice thing about this also, if you're playing in co-op, only one of you has to pick it up, and all of you will get it.
That is nice.
The downside to that is the same host has to be playing every time because you can't start from where you last saved.
That is a downside, but if you're playing with the same people, it's not that big of an issue. Right. As we normally do with these games, we give our bell pepper reviews of them. We're going to hold off this week on giving a review. We're going to give it at the top of the show next week, actually, so that we can get a full idea of the game, even though we do have a good feeling for the game right now. But for the record, I'm just going to give what Metacritic gave it, and then we can maybe Metacritic gave it 86 on Xbox One, which is the way you're supposed to play it, and an 82 on the PC. So obviously it's a PC port, and that's not bad for the game.
I want to preference the fact that I'm playing on Xbox and you two are playing on PC.
And we are playing together, which is cool.
I also want to point out that I was playing with Devin, who's not a part of this.
Although we are getting new Call of Duty, which might be good. For the record, Gears 1 got a 94 on Metacritic. Gears 2 got a 93 on Metacritic. Gears 3 got a 91 on Metacritic. Gears 4 got a 86 on Metacritic. So it's not.
What did Judgment get?
Judgment. It's not trending down further from Gears 4. Judgment, which I feel like was the least favorable of them. Judgment got an 82 on Metacritic. So better than Judgment, on par with Gears 4. So it's not bad for their ratings, but we'll see how we feel about it, and we give it our opinions next week. Davis, are you going to play this game?
Probably. I'm thinking I'll get the Game Pass when I get back from vacation, and I'll have some time to play it. I played Gears 1 through 3. I didn't play Judgment or 4. 4's on Game Pass, though, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw it on there. Yeah, so I'll probably play both of them. I played the hell out of 2.
2 is good. 2 is the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, 2 is my favorite.
Yep.
So I'll play 4 and 5.
Yeah, I played 1 through 3, but not Judgment or 4. And I was going to play 4 before I started this, but I didn't have enough space on my PC. It said I needed like 130 gigs free. I'm like, what?
I think this game is like 60.
You kidding me?
This is the first Gears game I've actually really played. I've played Horde mode in one of the other games. Couldn't even tell you which one. I've only done that once. And I think I played through a bit with... I watched my friend Kyle play it. But this is the first experience I've had with Gears. And I am really enjoying it. I don't think I would enjoy the other games as much as I'm enjoying this one, because I would have to go backwards, and no one likes going backwards.
Never know. So yeah, that's our thoughts on Gear at this moment, but we'll give a roundup next week. And so in honor of Gears, and it's basically I got this idea because of the Lancer. We're gonna rank our favorite weapons in video games, because the Lancer is just a sick kick-ass gun with a chainsaw on the end. I was like, let's talk about what our favorite weapons in games are.
Yeah, so nothing feels better than ripping through the locusts with a chainsaw.
Yep,
I wouldn't really
or Swarm.
know. I was shocking people most of the time we played, and I enjoyed the fuck out of that.
All right, so we're gonna start right off And our order this week is going to be Davis, Corey, Shane, and then myself. So
I also want to ask a quick question. Weapons and not guns, right? Just any kind of weapon.
Any kind of weapon.
Any weapon.
We talked about it earlier. Anything that does damage
Basically.
Got it.
Yes.
counts as a weapon. So the question came up: is a Pokeball a weapon? And the answer
Pokeball is
was no.
not a weapon. Doesn't do any damage.
Doing research.
Pokeball is like utility.
Yeah, doing research.
like,
Pokeball was like
A
on
magical
everybody's list.
spell could theoretically be a weapon, in as far as we are concerned.
Yes.
So,
All right, so I'm first, right?
yes.
My number
So what's
one
1-1?
pick is the Energy Sword from Halo.
Ooh.
Good pick, good pick.
Good one.
I don't know if there's maybe one or two more swords that are, or maybe three, more swords that are more iconic than the Energy
Still.
Sword. And
When
it's-
that came in the second game, oh my god.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
And it's super fun, and it's really cool. And the
So
design's
satisfying too.
super satisfying. And-
Whoosh.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good pick. Good pick. Good pick. All right, Corey, what's
Thanks.
your 1-1 pick?
Alright.
Is it alcohol? Because that does damage.
Mhm.
It'll damage your liver
No,
and your psyche.
it's true. But I'm gonna go with the Farsight from Perfect Dark.
It's not bad.
That weapon.
I hate that gun though.
Oh dude, I love it. Oh my god, that gun.
Explain to me what's so great about this gun. Also,
You can shoot through fucking walls.
Okay.
Yeah, it has thermal in it, and it'll auto lock onto enemies.
It's the most bogus ass multiplayer weapon.
It's the best.
Like I'll be
Oh.
like on the other side of the map, like do 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 do, and Corey will have the far sight, and it'll be like, heh, pew, and I'm just like, oh, I died from who knows where.
And the best area to use it was in the level Felicity, which is facility from GoldenEye. And if you go up in the vent in the bathroom, no one's gonna find you there. It'll take them a while to get up there, so you just crouch in there and just take everyone out. It's great.
So
It's-
what you're saying is you're a little prick.
It's the most bullshit weapon for sure.
Hey, I would do
might
that
not be
all
the
the time
best.
back on 64.
It might not be the best weapon. That's up for debate, but there is no doubt it's the most bullshit weapon. So, for sure. All right.
And I remember like when it first got when Perfect Dark first got re-released on the Xbox Live Arcade, first day I went and played online, and the first match I got into was Farsight's only.
Of course.
It was great.
All right, Shane, what's your pick for number 1?
This is rough for me to try and decide because I like a lot of guns and a lot of weapons that make no sense to like. I just enjoy them. My first pick is absolutely though going to be the Needler from Halo.
Good pick. 2 Halo
fair.
picks already. 'cause
That-
Halo's got
that's-
good ass guns.
That's the second most bullshit gun too.
Yeah.
Someone help me with is it Super Comb or Super Combine?
Fuck you
Super-
talking about?
It's Super Comb, right?
What are you talking about?
When the needles explode.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it
I'm gonna go with
is.
Super Comb. I'm probably wrong.
You're probably
I'm,
wrong.
I'm wrong about a lot of things. so
Someone
who gives a
correct
fuck?
him in the comments below.
Matt, if you're
But-
About to
listening.
be ice, yeah.
I
Ice,
know,
you are
I was gonna
listening.
say, specifically
Please write it
Ice.
out phonetically in the comments for us to read.
I really love just the explosion of the Needler and how you get hit with enough and then you're just like, well, fuck, and then you blow up.
It was busted initially for sure, but they made it
Absolutely.
less forgiving in the remaster, where you had to get basically the whole clip.
The remaster,
Without missing.
I hate it. I hate it so much in the remaster, but every other game, I enjoy the crap out of it.
The crap.
Good, not a bad pick, Shane. That is a very Shane pick. All right,
Don, what's your pick?
my pick. Now I had a hard time. I had a really hard time picking my number 1, but I figured I would just go basic for my number 1, and I'm gonna go with the Master Sword.
That was going to be my
number
second.
two. That was my number 2.
Yeah. So
God
Master
damn it.
Sword, Legend of Zelda series is probably my favorite series. If not, it's way up there. I love those games. So you obviously got to go with the sword of the game. It's got a great color scheme with the purple and the green. It's hard to beat. And once you get it in Breath of the Wild, it changes the whole fucking game, and the
It
whole
really
game
does,
gets
yeah.
infinitely easier.
I still haven't beaten it.
You need to
You're
fix
nuts.
that.
You need to fix
I
your life.
know
and
I
go do
need
that.
to.
All right, Matt-
That was one-
about to replay it when I go home, I'm probably gonna replay it. It's so much fun.
Mhm.
The Master Sword was one of the 3 swords that are probably more iconic than the Energy Sword.
Then the what?
Than the Energy Sword that I said earlier.
All right. Well, Davis,
That-
what's your second pick then? Is it a sword?
Oh no. My second pick is going to be the Fat Man from Fallout.
Mm,
Specifically the Merv version, because it shoots 5 Fat Man or
Missiles,
yeah,
nukes, mini nukes.
mini nukes. And
Remind me, is this our favorite weapons that we're going
coolest.
over? Or
What was it?
favorite, coolest, best? Don't really care.
Got
They're,
it.
it all
It's
kind of
just
overlaps.
personal 5 draft.
It's always personal. It's
Yeah.
I don't really care.
So my list is always going to be dumb.
Horrible.
the
Got it.
worst.
Yeah.
Technically, it is the best, but it's what you think is the best. So what you think
Yours
is the best
is-
is going to be vastly
My
different than what
thoughts
we
are
think is the
always
best.
invalid, as we
Yours,
just discussed.
yours is the
It's
best
true.
accidental comedy.
Batman's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mods you can get that make it even cooler. Also,
Yep.
Like player-made mods and in-game mods. But
I think my favorite is just when it explodes. It's just a person going.
ping.
Boom. Those are like my favorites.
All right, Corey, what's your second pick?
I'm gonna have to go with the Lancer.
Lancer.
That seriously, it's
It's a good weapon.
the best. I love it. Just ripping
so
through
satisfying.
chainsaws.
Chainsaw and a gun.
Yeah,
Not too much
It's
more you can
awesome.
ask for that. I like in the game. I prefer using the retro
Hammer shot?
lancer.
Oh.
No, I prefer using the retro lancer over the normal lancer. But the chainsaw is the cooler part, even though the retro lancer is only the stabby thing. But
Yeah.
either way, Shane, what's your second pick?
I am going to go with the Sheepinator from Ratchet and Clank. Going
Oh,
Commando.
good one. Is that what it's? Is it
Right.
called the Sheepinator, or does it have a different name?
It's called the Sheepinator. I double checked. It's a gun where you fire a ray that turns enemies into sheep. When you just hit once, they just turn into a puff of cotton, I guess.
A puff of sheep.
Shane, for the record, one of my favorite speedrunners is a Ratchet and Clank speedrunner, and I would recommend that you just watch some of his shit because he's pretty funny and he's entertaining. His name is Zem, so shout out Zem, give him a look, and it's just fun to watch him
Like
play Ratchet and Clank.
Z-E-M?
He Zem XEM. He streams like all the time. So
X-E-M.
shout out Zem. So my second pick, I'm still having a tough time with these, but I'm gonna go with the third Halo weapon, and I'm gonna go with the Halo SMG. I
Yeah.
love
Silenced
the.
or unsilenced?
I really like it silenced, but I mean I'm gonna go with the classic SMG. I love the SMG. It is probably my favorite weapon in all of Halo, and I'm glad that they brought it back after it was gone. I just like dual wielding some SMGs and just filling people full of ammo. Just unloading on people. So that's my second choice. Davis? 3?
My third choice is from a game that I've never played, but it's so everybody knows what it is. The Keyblade.
Generic.
Which one?
I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game,
Swords.
but I know what the Keyblade is, and I'm
Which one?
the normal Keyblade.
Yeah, of course, the
Yeah.
generic one. There's
Yeah.
a billion of them.
It's the idea behind it's cool. I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts guy. I think it's kind of lame.
But
Let's not get copyrighted.
I don't know the words of the song. I don't know any of the words of the song. It's just a really catchy song though.
You're gonna get the monetized.
I remember that song was
Yeah,
actually
like any machine will mistake that for being anything other than like an animal dying.
that song. I forgot who it was, but someone put that on our playlist for the Bros Trip.
Oh yes, it did come on our trip playlist. That was out of nowhere. That was probably I think I know who
I
that
think it was
but
Ross actually.
doesn't matter. I don't think it was Ross. Corey, what's your third pick?
I'm gonna go with another Halo weapon from Halo
Halo's
2.
got great weapons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. From Halo 2, the pistol, the handgun. It was the best.
The Magnum.
One shot domes.
It was so overpowered. It was awesome.
I agree.
Like I remember one time.
Best version of the pistol for sure.
at a
I really like
party.
ODST's pistol, but that's still the best version of the pistol too.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this one time at a LAN party, my brother, I was watching him and a bunch of his friends play, and one of the guys had a sniper in Blood Gulch, or whatever the equivalent in Halo 2. I forgot what the name of it was, but he had a sniper on one end of it of the map. My brother had a pistol, and he was on the other side, and
Pistol one.
it was like team deathmatch. Each of them needed one more kill, and he and like the guy's like, I got this, I got a sniper, and then one of my brother's friends was like, dude, but he has a pistol, and then he got sniped with a pistol from across the map.
That's all you need.
It was awesome.
All right, Shane, what's your third pick?
I'm gonna go with an iconic Shane weapon right now. When I say that, it's going to be a rocket launcher, and it's going to be the Javelin from Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, of course.
Oh
That's
boy.
Oh God,
Uh,
you and that fucking javelin.
the way I play Call of Duty games is I shoot on kill streaks.
anytime
Javelin,
there would be a
UAV.
UAV or a Harrier or anything in the air, we'd be like, Shane, and he'd be like, I got it, and he'd bring out the giant thing. He was like, beep beep, beep, boom.
And the best part about that fucking weapon is the fact that it can lock onto the ground, so I could target other people. So I could just get people from across the map with the Javelin, and I would just look at where people spawn, shoot it when I spawn, and occasionally get random kills like that. I loved it.
Javelin's
We
a
should
good
play
one.
that game again.
That's very fitting for Shane. Okay. So for my third pick, I am gonna go with also Modern Warfare 2. I'm gonna go with the Model 1887s.
Ooh, good pick. I hate shotguns though. So.
The
They
Scar's the best
looked
weapon.
sick.
I was gonna say
Specifically akimbo, and they looked sick, and they like had ridiculous range, and
Yeah.
they were fun to use.
That's a good pick.
Is indeed a good pick. Davis, what's your fourth pick?
My fourth pick is the blue shell from Mario Kart.
Ooh, good
God
one.
damn it!
Was that on your list?
That was
Yeah.
another bullshit weapon.
Yep. The weapon that
Devastating.
ruins friendships.
Devastating.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever evaded one intentionally.
I think I've maybe once in my entire
I
life.
did a couple times. Once they brought those like speakers that like blow it away.
The only time that
All the
I've ever
time.
not been hit by one is like something happened that I had no control over, and it just missed me, and I was like, whoa. But I've never been like, I'm gonna not get hit by this and
Yeah.
not get hit by it. I always get hit by it.
I mean, you can boost away from it if you time it right.
I've never timed it right.
I'm not good enough at video games for that.
No, for sure not. All right, Corey, what's your fourth pick?
It had a sword that I'm pretty sure is one of the three that you were talking about.
Oh, Keyblade was number 2, so there's one left.
So is
The
Corey gonna get it?
Buster Sword.
Yep, that was the third
Yep. From
one.
Final Fantasy VII.
Yep, that was the third of the 3 that are more iconic than the Energy Sword.
That like I never actually played Final Fantasy VII growing up, but I after playing Final Fantasy 15 and like getting into some more games kind of like that, I decided to finally start it up, and thank God I played it on the was it PS4 I played it on, where they have like the faster speed. I think it's like 3 or 4 times, because otherwise every single battle would take forever. It doesn't hold up very well, but it is a great game.
All right.
Like, it was a lot of fun.
Shane, what's your next pick?
I'm gonna go ahead and give my favorite sword, which I'm the only person who will be able to relate with this probably.
This is from Mega Man?
No. As much as I love Mega Man, no, it's going to be the Blade of Awe from Adventure Quest.
Oh, you fucking...
AKA Battlon.com, the Flash-based RPG nonsense that I spent way too much time playing, and eventually got caught cheating in.
we could have done this list 100 times, and no one would have picked
That
Adventure
anything from Adventure Quest.
No, absolutely not. But
I don't know if Corey played it, but we definitely all played it.
Uh-huh.
No,
A fair
you
amount.
know what I do remember about it though?
What?
Because I never actually played it. I remember being over at your house, Don, and like I'm pretty sure all of us were there playing games and stuff. And me and Shane, as you know, I see him like once every like other year, maybe.
Mhm.
And he spent the entire time, instead of playing games with us, he spent the entire time playing Adventure Quest.
Yeah,
It was pretty fun at the time.
We used to
It
play
was-
that. We used to play that in school before firewalls were a thing. We would play that.
Or
like,
proxies worked.
And we would play that
Yeah.
any chance we could get.
It's still to this day the only sword I can accurately redraw because it was such a simple drawing and it's so derpy looking, but I loved it nonetheless, and I could customize it.
Everything
was it
looked
called?
really,
Sort of
really
awe?
derpy looking.
Sort of awe.
All right.
It's just like it was basically like an arrow pointing up.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. My fourth pick is gonna be Kamehameha Wave from Dragon Ball games.
Hey, good pick.
Fair enough.
I'll allow it.
You better allow it. Most recently, I had a lot of fun playing Xenoverse because you can create your own character and shit, and you can get your own upgrades for him. And obviously, you got to go with the most iconic move, and it's Kamehameha Wave. So, it's
Big Bang Attack.
big bang attack. Or
Solar Flare.
I feel like Shane's go-to would be a Destructo Disc.
That's good. I love that.
I'm sorry, you can't see my hand. Special Beam Cannon!
Masenko Cup. Masenko. What's it? Masenko Cup.
Davis, what's your last pick?
My last pick is the Deku Stick in Ocarina of Time
You can do a lot with
because
it.
that weapon breaks the game and is used very heavily in speedruns. And is
Probably all
how they
speedruns.
broke it is what
Probably all speedruns.
and completely breaks the game and makes you do tons and tons of damage. And it's a little stick.
Solid pick. Solid number 5.
Yep.
Corey?
We're gonna do honorable mentions.
We'll
too,
throw
right?
some honorable mentions at the end, yeah. Corey?
Mine is probably the pimp slap in Saints Row 2.
Solid.
Shane, do you remember that? I forgot if it was you and me or me and Kevin.
I missed
Um,
what you said.
He just
slap.
clapped.
The pimp slap in Saints Row 2. Remember
Fuck.
when we
Did you
would
computer
go?
phrase?
Yeah, I
Fuck, that's gonna be a pain to edit around.
did you not see me recollapsing? Because I collapsing.
No,
He's
I was
clapped
typing
twice.
stuff.
He's clapped twice.
It doesn't
So you're
really
gonna
help.
have to you're gonna have to resync him twice.
It will help with me at least. You can
Whatever.
resync me.
I sing to your lips, but it doesn't matter. Corey pimp slap. Good pick.
Yeah, so basically, I remember what me and Shane would do. We would go to like the highest tower, highest building in the game. We'd go inside there.
I would just like to speak for
turn-
the record. We're at an hour and 8 minutes. Corey, we don't need your life story for all of your picks.
Aw.
You go to the tallest building, continue. This is your last life story. It's also your last.
All right. It's we would turn on zero gravity and turn on the pin slap because you need to use a cheat to get it, and it's a big foam middle finger, and you just smack each other, and we'd smack each other out of the building and go flying. It was awesome.
All right, what's your Blood Gulch story about the sniper and the pistol again? I want the not abridged version.
All right, Shane, what's your last pick?
Is it last or fourth?
Last, you
It's
goof.
your last pick.
Okay.
Your fourth pick was the Blade of Awe.
Thank you, for reminding me. I'm gonna go ahead and go with any of the talking guns in Borderlands 2.
Okay.
The one.
No, there's
Isn't there
three of
only
them.
Oh.
There's the Bane, there's a sniper rifle, and I think there's a shotgun. The sniper rifle insults you when you shoot it. Maybe if you weren't so fat, you would hit them or something like that. The
Bane just goes pew 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 pew.
They just talk to you.
Exactly.
They talk to you the way that we talk to you.
Exactly. It made me feel like I had friends again.
Perfect. All right. My
What
last
do you mean
pick.
again?
My last pick, which might be my best pick. I'm gonna go with Flood from Mario Sunshine.
That's a good one. Damn it.
I was worried that one wasn't gonna last, but I had to get my other ones in. So he's your backpack buddy, and he's ranked, and he's like Mario, or she's like Mario. I don't actually fully understand what. It's probably genderless. It is like Mario, and you get a bunch of different upgrades for it.
It prefers they them.
They them. Spray jetpack, and it's probably my favorite Mario game. So yeah, that's our lists. I'm gonna go over them again. Davis, you had the Energy Sword, the Fat Man, specifically the Merv, the Keyblade, the Blue Shell from Mario Kart, and the Deku Stick. Corey, you had the Farsight, the Lancer, the Halo 2 pistol, the Buster Sword, the Pimp Slap, specifically Saints Row 2. Shane, you had the Needler, the Sheepinator, the Javelin from MW2, the Blade of Awe, and all the Talking Guns from Borderlands 2. And then I had the Master Sword, the Halo SMG, the Model 1887s, Kamehameha Wave, and Flood from Mario Sunshine.
Shane's list, not that bad.
These are probably our best list. I figured this would have been our best list because we had so many options.
I want to point out the last time I played Adventure Quest was July 5th, 2016.
That's not bad.
That's recent.
So let's throw some honorable mentions out real quick. My first
I'll
one,
do mine.
the BR from Halo. That narrowly missed my list. I love the BR.
My narrow misses were the Plasma Cutter from Dead Space, Ray Gun from Zombies in World at War.
Ooh, good pick.
The Penetrator, which is the big purple dildo bat.
Yep.
From Saints Row, and then Fireflower from Mario.
Fireflower's a good one.
My mention, I'm skipping Corey because I don't want to hear him give another story.
Got him.
Is either the shell from Enter the Gungeon, which would shoot shotguns that would then shoot, or the I can't remember the real name for this fucking gun, but the Zap gun in Black Ops Zombies on the moon.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Corey, what you got? Anything?
The Shrink Ray from Duke Nukem,
Mm-hmm.
and the BFG from Doom.
Good choice. I would adding to the list of swords. I would argue any game that has a lightsaber is automatically the coolest weapon in the game.
Yeah.
Even though that's not specifically video game weapons, but yeah, those are our cool weapons, best weapons in video games. Not a bad list this time. So to end this episode for our cool fact of the week, Shane guessed it earlier, and I was pissed off that he's spewing his mouth at guessing my facts. The Dreamcast was released on September 9th, 1999, which as we were filming on the 9th, so Dreamcast is 20 years old. It can drink next year, guys.
Yay.
I want to point out...
I was actually about to message that to you guys too, and then I saw he did, and I'm like, oh, he beat me to it.
When like Hydro Thunder and Sonic Adventure came out also on the same day. So.
I want to point out that the Dreamcast nailed modern gaming. It's online based, and it uses real hardware that it also goes inside PCs.
Was that an article?
Yes, it was.
I was like, I thought I saw that as a headline somewhere today.
Yes, no, I absolutely am repeating an article, and I can't remember
the
source.
All right.
It revolutionized gaming. Absolutely.
Well, this has been a wonderful episode, and we thank you for joining us this week. Go out, play some games. Deuces, friends.
Love you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.